Thanks for joining us this evening on TKO8 Local News. An Izard County rape suspect is on the run now. Authorities are searching for 53-year-old George Turncliffe of the Dolph community on 3 felony counts of rape and a felony count of residential burglary. Arkansas State Police Special Agent Becky Vacco says she interviewed Turncliffe's adult daughter in July of 2016. The victim alleges that when she was age 4 and 5, she woke up one night to Turncliffe on top of her and touching her inappropriately. She says she asked him to stop, but he continued. The alleged incident occurred in Calico Rock. Agent Vanco says she also interviewed a 15-year-old child over a year later and learned that Turncliffe first touched her inappropriately when she was age 12, and more incidents had occurred since that time. On a burglary charge, Izard County deputies Evan Jones and Richard Crow were dispatched to a home in Dolph in early morning hours of May 12th after the resident stated that Turncliffe refused to leave even though he was not allowed to be there. While en route to the residence, the deputies were advised by dispatch that Turncliffe had been hit in his head with a baseball bat and was sitting on the steps bleeding, but left before authorities arrived. The resident's 15-year-old daughter admitted to striking Turncliffe with the baseball bat. She stated he was asleep in her room when Turncliffe opened the window and came in. Anyone with knowledge of Turncliffe's whereabouts should contact the Izard County Sheriff's Office. Sean Eaton has changed his plea to guilty on charges of having inappropriate sexual contact with young girls and was sentenced to 6 years in the Department of Corrections by Judge Gordon Webb. The 21-year-old Eaton waived his rights to a jury trial in mid-January, and his cases were scheduled to be tried to the bench, meaning the judge takes the role of both the judge and the jury, but Eaton opted to change his plea instead. He faced charges of sexual indecency with a child and 2 counts of second-degree sexual assault. Eaton was originally arrested in July of 2016 after an 11-year-old female victim reported Eaton came up to her and touched her inappropriately at the Donald W. Reynolds Library. There were other incidents of similar behavior involving 10 and 11-year-old girls at another business and outside of a private residence. Kelsey Gultner of Mountain Home has entered a guilty plea to a number of drug-related charges and given 12 years of probation. According to the probable cause affidavit, Gultner and a co-defendant were involved in a number of sales of methamphetamine to a confidential informant working with law enforcement in January of last year. At the time of her arrest, Gultner had 16 counts in that case. It was reported to the court that Gultner had completed the Care Center Ministries program dealing with her addiction. Judge Gordon Webb told Gultner he hoped the program had equipped her to successfully get through rather than a lengthy probation period. The court also ordered the forfeiture of property seized from Gultner. The complaint in the forfeiture action listed a fifth-wheel camper, a vehicle, and $900 in cash to be turned over to the state. The North Arkansas East-West Corridor Association says that if North Central Arkansas is going to continue to grow, U.S. Highway 412 must be improved from border to border across the state. Officials say that the message that comes from the results of a University of Arkansas at Little Rock economic impact study unveiled at a conference in Mountain Home last week. The organization is advocating closing the loop between the improvements made in the northern corners of the state. They add that they will be watching to see if the situation with the federal government that has traditionally provided some 80% of highway funding will continue. They hope that by September, the North Arkansas East-West Corridor Association will have a better feel for the federal infrastructure bill and how it may be put into play for that project. Well, it's been almost 5 years since a scene for the movie Ball Knobber. The movie was shot on the Court Park in Harrison, but you'll get a chance to see the movie at a Branson, Missouri theater early next month. Michael Johnson with the Bear Creek Productions says it will be shown Sunday, June 3rd at the Mansion Theater in Branson. Ball Knobber is a feature film based on a true story of the League of Law and Order in the Ozark Mountains of Taney County, Missouri during the early 1980s. The organization grew to be nearly 1,000 strong. Their goal was to rid the land of bushwhackers, murderers, and thieves throughout the county. This film portrays the story of the vigilant group and the impact it had on the individuals and families that were involved. Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We'll take a look at some headline news from around the region as TKO8 News continues.
Inland Waste Solutions works diligently to be good stewards of the environment. Reducing waste via curbside recycling services, Inland Waste Solutions takes this mission seriously, but they need your help. When putting your waste and recyclables in their respective curbside containers, be sure that cross-contamination doesn't occur. Please only place recyclable materials in the yellow top bins. Check your recycling do's and don'ts list before you throw any item into the yellow top recycle bin. Together we can make a difference. Inland Waste Solutions, local people serving local people in Harrison.
On any given day here at Main Street Service Center, we might be working on a Ford like's on the 4-post lift over my shoulder, or an Infiniti that's back on the back bay, or a Toyota, or a BMW, or right here a Hyundai. You just never know what's going to come into the shop and what their needs might be, but you can rest assured that at Main Street Service Center, whatever you're driving, we can take care of it for you, whether it's oil and filter changes all the way up to engine and transmission replacements. And get this, we've been in business for 29 years and there's still things that we can't do, and we're not too proud to say it. So if you bring us something and it's over our head or out of our capabilities of expertise or tools, we're not too proud to say it, because we want your vehicle fixed correctly, right, and the first time.
Summer is just around the corner, and the staff at Harness Boots and Shoes are ready with all the latest styles of tennis shoes, sandals, dress shoes, casual shoes, boots, and hiking shoes. You'll find the most popular brands such as Merrell, Birkenstock, Chaco, New Balance, and Twisted X for men, women, and children. And if you don't find the style or color you want in stock, they'll be happy to order them for you. Don't forget, $10 down will hold anything in the store on layaway. Harness Boots and Shoes on the west side of the square in beautiful downtown Harrison.
Arkansas State Police say that a man is dead following a police chase and a shooting that ended in a collision on Interstate 40 in eastern Arkansas. A state police news release says West Memphis police were attempting to stop the vehicle Monday afternoon as it was eastbound on the interstate, and the driver used his vehicle to strike a patrol car. The release goes on to say the driver then turned around and drove westbound in the eastbound lane toward officers, and at least one officer opened fire. The driver then collided with an eastbound tractor-trailer rig. The man was taken to a local hospital where he died a few hours later. No other injuries were reported in that incident. And the Arkansas State Police are investigating the weekend deaths of 2 state prison inmates at separate correctional facilities. A correctional officer found 33-year-old inmate Joshua Autry unresponsive in a single-man cell at the East Arkansas Regional Unit at Bricky's on Sunday. Autry was serving a life sentence for first-degree murder from Drew County. A second inmate, 30-year-old Kevin Shelton, was found unresponsive in a single-man cell at the Varner unit in Grady also on Sunday. Correctional officers and medical staff provided medical treatment before transporting Shelton to the unit's infirmary, where he was pronounced dead a little while later. Shelton was serving a 20-year sentence for negligent homicide from Pulaski County. Experts say that crimes committed, adult arrest, and the number of sworn law enforcement officers in Arkansas, most populous counties, are above the national average. Pulaski County is paying 2 firms to analyze the county's adult justice system. The JFA Institute and the Justice Management Institute are examining the county's law enforcement, the more than 1,200-bed jail, and the court system. JFA Institute President James Austin says that the county has a crimes against person rate more than twice the national average, but experts say that county officials seem to be willing to collaborate, which could help correct what they call a reactive approach to a large jail population. And authorities in Pine Bluff, Arkansas are investigating a fatal shooting over the weekend. Pine Bluff Police Department says the victim was shot around 3:20 a.m. on Saturday. Officers found the victim while responding to reports of an abandoned vehicle in the area. Upon arriving, police found multiple vehicles with bullet holes in them. Officers also found a man lying in front of a home who was suffering from a gunshot injury. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The victim's name has not been released by authorities. Supporters of legislative term limits in Arkansas are circulating a petition for a proposed constitutional amendment to limit state lawmakers to a maximum of 10 years of service. The proposal would limit state representatives to 3 two-year terms in the House and state senators to 2 four-year terms in the Senate. It would also bar the legislature from putting future term limit measures on the ballot. Lawmakers can now serve up to 16 years in the House, Senate, or both chambers. Republican Senate President Pro Tem Jonathan Desmang says limiting state lawmakers to serving 10 years in the legislature would be very restrictive. Before we take a look at the weather forecast as we move on through the work week, here's the way the stock market ended today. A foggy start this morning. Foggy conditions in southern Missouri and northern Arkansas put the visible limit down to less than 1/4 mile, particularly in the early morning hours. Finally, that fog burned off by mid-morning and it was all out of the area. But it was truly foggy, particularly in the low-lying areas, so I hope you didn't have any major problems with that. Well, this week's going to be typical spring, early summer type weather. Thunderstorms popping up all over the place, so they're going to keep a percentage of rain in the forecast all the way through the Memorial Day holiday. Today it was warm out there and humid because of the showers we've had around the area. Got up to about 84 degrees, felt like 90 degrees this afternoon. Tomorrow's going to be about the same, scattered showers and thunderstorms, on again, off again. You may get rain, you may never get any rain in this forecast, but tomorrow around 81 degrees, a 60% chance of those scattered showers in the area. Again on Thursday, particularly morning thunderstorms, 85 degrees, 40% chance. Friday, scattered thunderstorms once again, 86 degrees, 40% chance, and a cookie cutter forecast. Saturday, thunderstorms in the forecast, 86 degrees and about 40% chance. Right now, actually Sunday, a warm day, 86 degrees. They're not calling for any showers or thunderstorms, but I'm sure that will be added. And if you look out on the long range forecast, right now for Monday, scattered thunderstorms, only about a 40% chance for Memorial Day. So all of that could change. And again, these 40-50% chance means half of us or more won't get any rain at all. So you can keep your umbrella close, but I wouldn't put off any outdoor activities just because of this type of forecast. Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We'll take a look at sports from around the region as TKO8 News continues.
Your summer starts here. With a great deal on a new Toyota, you can celebrate all the season has to offer.
Like graduations, Mother's Day, camping, family reunions, paddleboarding, hiking, the beach, fishing trips, county fairs, road trips. Me first!
During the Summer Starts Here sales event, get $2,500 customer cash, or qualified buyers get 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2018 RAV4. Offers end June 4th.
Get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Hello, this is Michelle from Nature's Wonders. Did you know that we are part of an independent retailers co-op that allows us to offer you extra savings? With conscious foods becoming more popular, you see them everywhere, which is a good thing. What you can't get just anywhere is a knowledgeable team of people who want to provide you with top-notch customer service. With our co-op buying option, Nature's Wonders can offer you the customer service you expect, along with prices comparable to those in larger stores. The ideal shopping experience. Come see how affordable healthy living can be at Nature's Wonders in Harrison.
Arkansas outfielder Heston Kirsten has been named the Southeastern Conference Freshman Player of the Year. He leads 6 other Razorbacks that were named to the All-SEC, All-Freshman, and All-Defense teams. Kirsten is the first player in the program history to earn SEC Freshman of the Year honors. He also is the 3rd Razorback to win a major conference award in school history. In addition to being named the league's top freshman player, Kirsten was also named as the All-SEC second team and all-freshman team for an outfielder. And the Super Regional between Arkansas and Oklahoma will begin Friday afternoon at Marta Hines Field in Norman, Oklahoma. Hosting the program's first ever NCAA Regional, the Razorbacks posted a 3-0 run through the weekend, including a 6-4 win over the Wichita State Wildcats in the regional championship. Freshman Mary Hoff continued her standout performance in the circle with 3 wins and 20 strikeouts in 13 innings of play. Senior A.J. Bellums and Autumn Berzik each had 4 hits during the weekend play. Arkansas tallied a 27-2 record at Bogle Park this season, establishing a program record for the most home wins in one season. And the University of Kansas fired athletic director Shelton Zinger. Chancellor Douglas Gerard says the decision came because programs have been elusive in some areas of the campus. Gerard was named deputy director and Sean Sester as interim athletic director while the university searches for a replacement. Miles Makata pitched a 4-hitter for his first career shutout, and Tyler O'Neill homered for the 3rd straight game and drove in 4 runs, leading the St. Louis Cardinals to a 6-0 victory over the Kansas City Royals on Monday night. McCallus needed just 109 pitches to remain unbeaten and struck out a career-high 9 batters. Speaking of St. Louis, the home of the St. Louis Blues is getting a new name, Enterprise Center. The NHL team has announced a 15-year arena naming rights agreement with suburban St. Louis-based Enterprise Holdings, LLC, which operates Enterprise Rent-A-Car System, along with Alamo Rent-A-Car and National Rental Car Systems. The arena has been known as the Scott Trade Center since back in 2006. The name change is effective July 1st. And that wraps up our broadcast here for this evening. Thanks for joining us. Join us Monday through Friday at 6:30 and again at 10 p.m. as we continue to bring you local news, weather, sports, and local announcements around the area on Harrison's broadcast station, TKO Channel 8. Now stay tuned for more local events around the view.
News.